what's Poce, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today we're gonna rank the banners in terms of the possibility of each 5-star character rerunning in the, or having their own banner in the next 2.8 update, right? So yeah, just my opinion on what I think the possibility of, each character is, right, to come out with a banner in the next update. Again, as a upright citizen, obviously, this is not looking at any suspicious information that may or may not get my channel indicted. just going off of patterns, and just in terms of time and gaps between each one of these banners, right? And we'll discuss. So anyways, starting off, let's get the easy ones out of the way. Obviously, the 5-star standard banners characters: Diluc, Mona, TT, Jean, and where is Katsu over here, right? Is there a possibility they do another, event banner featuring a standard banner 5-star as the main featured unit? Yeah, there's a possibility. The possibility that is incredibly low. It's only ever happened, once in Genshin history, and that was a very special occasion because of, again, some unfortunate timing with the should have been Hu Tao release banner, right, with the Spring Festival, right? So that was a very that was an anomaly, right? So the chance of that happening, not very high, and very unlikely, but it exists. That the chance exists, it's not very likely. So it's obviously, the banners that are up right now, Yelan, right, or at least in this update specifically, not right now. Yelan. Also, please subscribe so I could hit my sub goal, so I could pull for Aqua Sim Locker. I really want that weapon. But yeah, we got Yelan, we got Xiao, right, and Arataki Ito. The interesting thing about Xiao is, right, even though he is up right now, his last banner was actually not that far away, right? It was in almost February, right? Late January. He came with the Shenhe banner, and then he already reran, which is I do find a bit interesting. I think he's the closest one getting a rerun like this. Obviously with the very extended banner Ayaka, or just like the entire 2.6 update was basically extended, right? If you look at the dates, it seems like a long time, but if you look at like the number of banners in between, right? So you got Ayaka, you got these two, right? That's 2. You got these 2, that's 3. You got Yoimiya, that's 4. These 2, 5, right? It's only been 5 banners, right? Well, I mean, more than 5 if you want to count this separately, but obviously they come at the same time, so we're gonna count them as one, right? So there's only been really just 5 sets of event banners, right, between that last Xiao and this Xiao. So that being said, I do think there are some units that could potentially have a Xiao-ish situation that comes back a bit earlier than expected. Obviously, generally those do depend on what they are trying to do with the story, right, and all that stuff. So that's a bit hard to discern, right? But anyways, let's just make a point about don't be super surprised if you see someone rerun a bit earlier than you'd probably expect, right? So anyways, although Xiao is also not super off, because we have Ito's banner right now, and then Xiao was only one banner after that, right? But anyways, moving on. So, in terms of some characters that are probably not happening, but again, they could always have that Xiao situation, but chance of them happening not very likely because of how recent they were, right? That would be the Raiden Shogun, obviously Yoimiya and Kokumi for one. They were 2 updates ago. Chance of them rerunning is not very high, I'd say, especially for some unit or a banner like Raiden Shogun, obviously, one of the highest, top selling banners, both of her banners, right? If they do want to ever rerun Raiden Shogun, it has to be a very strategic drop, all right? Because this is free money over there, right? So yeah. As for some other ones, obviously the banners from last update, probably not happening either. Ayaka, I would not be surprised if we do not see Ayaka for a very, very long time, because obviously Ayaka has had the longest banner, like, ever, right? Due to unfortunate, circumstances that are out of their control, right? It's not like they wanted Ayaka's banner to last that long, but it just happened to, again, with all the circumstances, it lasted that long. Like, what could they do, right? And that being said, I do not think Ayaka's coming back for a very, very, very long time, right? And obviously the other two being Venti and Ayato as well. Also, they were just in the last update, right? Literally the last update, which again was a very, very long update. Chance of them coming back next update is very unlikely. Very, 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 very unlikely. Moving on to some let's actually talk about the very likely ones, I feel. So if you look back, right, so which units have not gotten a rerun in a very, very long time? So the first one I do feel like is Klee, right? Last Klee banner was a year ago. Right? It was June the 9th, and it's been a year since the Klee banner, right? And the one before that, a few banners before that, was the Venti banner, and Venti got a rerun, right? Venti already got his rerun, so I feel like Klee should be getting hers soon as well, right? Because after Venti, because Venti was the longest unit to not get a rerun, but now that Venti's got a rerun, the longest unit without a rerun, in this case, would now be Klee. And I was actually expecting Klee this update, but there wasn't, Klee this update. So next update, Klee makes a lot of sense, right? Also, next update should be the summer event again, right? I think it should be that time. So again, a Klee rerun banner makes a ton of sense. Also, another rerun banner that makes a lot of sense would be Kazuha, right? Kazuha this guy has not been back in a while as well, right? And this one's slightly crazy because, considering Ayaka's banner's already, back, right? And then that's like Ayaka's banner came back, and Ayaka's banner was like after, or Ayaka's initial banner was after Kazuha's banner. And, even between that Ayaka rerun, we still had like another update, right? So if Kazuha does not come back in the next update, that's going to be slightly crazy. So Kazuha very, very, very likely is going to be back, right? Again, chance of him not being back is, I'd say, very, very low. And speaking of characters that were around Ayaka's time frame, Yoimiya also have not, ever had a rerun banner ever either. So Yoimiya would be another big one, right? So I do feel like in terms of like the big, 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 big ones that have a very good chance of rerunning would be Kazuha, Klee, and Yoimiya. Usually, each update has around 2 to 4 banners, right? Character banners. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4. It's been a while since we've only had 2, right? Like, when was the last time we ever like had an update that really only just had like 2 banners, right? So this one had 3. Last one had 3. The one before that had 3. The one before that had 4. 2.4 had 4 banners. So again, possible that 4, banner updates exist, right? The one before that was 3. And then, so the last time we had 2 banners in an update was 2.2, which was a very, very, that was a while ago, right? That was a very, very long time ago. So yeah, the chances of again, them having like a 2 character update is not very high. I'd say chance of having a 3 character update would be the highest. Chance of them having a 4 character update is not impossible either, right? I wouldn't say it's impossible, but chances of 4 characters is relatively low, right? And even if we do want to put 4 characters in there really isn't that many other banners that really need a rerun as badly as these 3, right? Again, this is what I'm just saying, like, these characters need a rerun, right? Like, logically, it's their turn. But again, Genshin, sometimes they don't always, play that logically in terms of rerunning, which is fine, actually. That's not like a bad thing, right? I mean, if everything was so predictable and follow some sort of strict pattern. That'll be rather boring, right? That'll be very uninteresting. So yeah, I'm just saying logically these three should be the next three to rerun in the next update. But again, circumstances can happen. They could maybe sneak in a surprise for us, maybe a surprise fourth banner, right? So yeah, we won't know. But if there is going to be a surprise fourth banner, we're going to put it in the should be close category. There are a few options that I do think are possible, right? Are possible if they do try to sneak in a surprise fourth one. And I would say it's probably the banners between 2.3 and 2.2. These 2.3 and 2.2 banners. I know we've had a lot of child banners, right? I mean, he's already had 3 banners already, right? His, second rerun wasn't that far away. Well, not second rerun. His first rerun wasn't that far away from his initial banner. As people would tell you. Although, honestly, if you look at the amount of banners in between, there's actually a decent amount, right? It's like, how many? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it's like 6, 7 sets of banners in between. Even though, again, a lot of people meme about this one. Although, this rerun, with his second rerun, also wasn't like an insane amount of time in between. And again, we do have 3 child reruns, so maybe not a child rerun. But again, the time between now and the last child rerun has been a while as well, right? 2.2 was back in October last year. But again, it also hasn't been like a year. So I do think of those 4, right? Even though Child's banner was, technically the first one that or technically was the longest that hasn't been rerun, I would say the chances of Child would be a bit lower than the others, just because, again, the amount of banners that he's had is just a bit lower than the others, right? So as for the other ones, obviously we got Hu Tao here, Eula, and Albedo. Of these 3, again, none of these guys has had any rerun since them. In terms of having like a second rerun, these are all their first reruns, right? So in terms of maybe a fourth banner being one of these, I won't say it's impossible, right? I won't say it's impossible. I'd say that's definitely a possibility. Would the likelihood be very, very high? I would say not very high, right? But if they don't come back in 2.8, I'd say they'd be pretty close at least, right? For 2.9. Another one would be Shenhe, right? Shenhe was right after Ito's initial, banner, right? It was Ito, and then boom, we got Shenhe right after. That's 2 new characters back to back. And, if we go back to the logical point of, well, in terms of time, right? Shenhe's banner was right after Ito's, and we just got Ito's rerun, so that means we should be getting Shenhe's rerun next banners or next update as well, right? Yeah, maybe it's a possibility. But again, even though that was the case in terms of who was first, or in terms of the order between Ito and Shenhe's banner, right? There just are like too many banners before that have not come back, right? So I wouldn't say Shenhe's chances are that high. I would say Shenhe's chances in 2.9 having a rerun would be very, very high. It really all depends, right? Or the update after 2.8. We won't know, which update they're coming in terms of numbers, right? They could go to 3.0, right, and just drop Sumeru out of nowhere, right? So that's also a possibility. But again, I would say the chances of getting Shenhe's banner after the next update, right, after 2.8, is much, much higher than her coming in the next update. Again, even despite her being the literally next banner after Ito, right? And again, some of that also does depend on if they are going to drop any new characters, right? Because like not every update's going to be a rerun. They gotta sprinkle in some new characters here and there every so often, right? And it doesn't happen too often. Or actually, has it ever happened that we've gotten like 2 updates in a row without a new character? Has it ever happened? I don't think it's ever happened, right? 2.6 we got a new character. 2.5 got a new character. 2.4 is a new character. 2.3 is a new character. 2.2 are reruns. 2.1's new characters, right? Like, yeah, it's very, very rare, I'd say. And again, I don't even think it's ever happened, right? Where we haven't gotten an update with like, or 2 updates in a row with no new characters. Again, there has been updates with completely just no new characters, right? 1.4, no new characters. 1.3 is a new character, right? Yeah. I don't think it's ever happened. So, yeah, depending on, if they are coming out with a new character as well, right? Again, Sumeru, if a Sumeru update is coming afterwards, obviously we're probably going to get a Sumeru character, right? So maybe that lowers the chances of a Shenhe rerun or something, right? But, outside of that. But yeah, as for the last 2, yeah, I'm not saying... I'd say these are probably in the same, level. They both came in the... Or reran in the Shenhe update, but it was also in the second half of the Shenhe update, right? Like, if I really were to, like, be a bit more annoying, I'd maybe put, like, these 2 in a slightly lower possibility than these 2. But again, if Genshin were ever to throw us a curveball, right, like one of those, Xiao reruns or one of the Tartaglia reruns, right, if they were ever going to throw us a curveball and rerun a character or banner that was pretty recent in terms of when they got reran, it would be one of these 2, I'd say. that would be a pretty fitting curveball to throw. So who knows, right? But anyways, yeah, that's what I think is probably going to happen in terms of the banners for the next update, right? 2.8. Hey, look, it's the red, gang. All 4 of them are red. But yeah, again, Klee, Yoimiya, Kazuha, most likely, logically makes the most sense in terms of, temporally, right? How long it's been since their last banners. These guys makes the most sense, right? Again, not always the banners that makes the most sense will come, right? Because like, not a lot of people thought Xiao was gonna rerun this banner or this patch. Although I did mention, I think in my last video when we did this, right, I did mention that there's a chance that they actually do rerun Xiao, and they did, right? Again, that's kind of like same thing with if they actually do rerun one of Gayu or Zhongli in the next patch, right? That's kind of what they did with the Xiao over there, right? So yeah, again, some of these are not impossible, right? They could throw them in there if they really wanted to. They should throw a Hutao in there for like a full just red characters update, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people are rearing up to pull for Kazuha, obviously a very, very great character, as am I, right? So Yoimiya also coming out as well. It'll be slightly crazy if they do drop like Klee, Yoimiya, and Kazuha in the same update. And look, I do think Yoimiya got a lot better, right, ever since her initial banner, right? A lot of new characters, teammates, and team comps that you could really run her that are really nice, right? And artifact sets, etc., right? But Klee and Yoimiya in the same update as Kazuha, that's gonna be a historic that might be a historic banner disparity in terms of people who pull on Kazuha versus the other 2. Again, maybe not so bad, but like Klee is definitely Klee's banner versus Kazuha's banner numbers are gonna be a historic disparity. But we'll see. Unless they they put Klee and Kazuha in like the same half, then it's gonna be hard to discern who contributed what percentage to the combined whatever grossing of the banners. So anyways, that's me on this one, I guess. Hope you all gentlemen guys think in the comments down below, right? Let me know what you guys think, what banners are gonna come out in the next patch, right? Again, I would appreciate if we don't get do any spread any information that may or may not get me in trouble with the Genshin people. Already got in trouble with them once. Don't want to do that. Don't want that to happen again. All right. So anyways, have fun, folks, and I'll see you guys in the next one then.